The look Princess Leonor gave her parents during that recent royal appearance lasted maybe 1 second, but honestly, it felt longer. Not dramatic. Not disrespectful. Just tired. And I think that tiny moment revealed something the palace desperately tries to keep invisible. The closer Leonor gets to becoming queen, the more complicated her relationship with her parents may actually become behind closed doors. Because people love imagining royal families as perfectly united teams. Elegant dinners. Careful smiles. Structured support systems. And publicly, King Felipe and Queen Letizia absolutely present that image well. But here's the thing I keep thinking about lately. What happens when the people preparing you for greatness are also the people controlling your entire future? That's where things get emotionally messy. And honestly, I don't think enough people talk about the hidden tension that naturally grows between heirs and their parents inside monarchies. Not because they hate each other, but because love and duty start colliding in ways normal families never experience. And I think that collision is quietly starting to show around Leonor now. If you're new to Leonor's story, subscribe, I post every day. Because this isn't just another royal drama story. I actually think what's happening around Leonor right now reveals the emotional cost of raising someone to become a symbol before they've fully become themselves. Now let me explain why this topic fascinates me so much. A lot of people assume royal parenting is mostly privilege. I honestly think it's pressure management disguised as parenting. Think about it. King Felipe and Queen Letizia are not only raising a daughter. They're raising the future survival strategy of the Spanish monarchy. That changes everything psychologically. Every educational decision matters politically. Every public appearance matters symbolically. Every friendship, relationship, expression, mistake, all filtered through institutional consequence. That's not normal family life anymore. That's emotional engineering. And before anyone misunderstands me, I'm not saying Felipe and Letizia are cold parents. Actually, I think they genuinely love Leonor deeply. But sometimes love inside powerful institutions becomes complicated because protection and control start looking almost identical. That's the dangerous part. And honestly, I think Leonor is reaching the age where she's beginning to notice that difference herself. You can see it in her body language lately. She still respects protocol perfectly. She still performs her role incredibly well. But there are moments now, quick moments, where she seems emotionally somewhere else entirely. More independent mentally, more aware, almost like she's quietly asking herself, how much of my life is actually mine? That question changes people, especially at her age. Now here's my hot take that some people may disagree with. I don't think the biggest conflict inside the palace is rebellion. I think it's identity. Huge difference. Because Leonor doesn't strike me as someone who wants to destroy tradition. She's too disciplined for that. Too aware of responsibility. But I do think she may be struggling with something far more human. Trying to become her own person while the institution keeps shaping her into an idea first. And honestly, that tension exists in almost every royal family eventually. Look at Prince Harry. Look at Princess Diana. Even Prince William had moments where public duty clearly clashed with personal freedom growing up. The difference with Leonor is that Spain's monarchy learned from watching those royal crises globally. So instead of open chaos, the Spanish palace seems obsessed with controlled harmony. Everything carefully managed. Everything emotionally polished. But here's the truth nobody says enough. The more perfect a royal family appears publicly, the more pressure exists privately to maintain that image. That pressure alone can create emotional distance inside families over time. And I think Queen Letizia understands this better than anyone. Sometimes when I watch Letizia interact with Leonor now, I notice something fascinating. There's pride, obviously, but there's also constant observation. Like she's always checking whether Leonor is handling the weight properly. That's maternal instinct mixed with institutional responsibility. And honestly, that combination must be exhausting for both of them. Because imagine being Leonor for a second. Your parents aren't just guiding your future. They're designing it. Military training, public image, educational path, royal preparation, everything connected to a version of you the country eventually needs. That's overwhelming. And this is why I think people misunderstand modern royal conflict completely. They expect screaming arguments and dramatic scandals. Real royal conflict today is quieter. It's emotional suffocation hidden beneath perfect choreography. It's wanting freedom while understanding why freedom feels dangerous to everyone around you. It's loving your parents while also realizing they represent the institution shaping your entire identity. That's complicated. And honestly, I think 2026 is the year Leonor started emotionally feeling that complexity more than ever. This is why I keep paying attention to the subtle details instead of headlines. The pauses, the controlled expressions, the way Leonor sometimes looks more relaxed around Sophia than during formal moments with her parents. Those tiny differences reveal emotional reality far more than official statements ever will. Now, personally, I don't think King Felipe is trying to pressure Leonor out of cruelty at all. I actually think he's terrified. Terrified of history repeating itself. Remember, Felipe watched the monarchy survive scandal, public distrust, media pressure, and institutional instability. He understands how fragile royal legitimacy can become in the modern era. So when he pushes Leonor toward discipline and preparation, I think part of him genuinely believes he's protecting both her and the crown simultaneously. But protection has consequences too. Because eventually overprotection can start feeling like emotional confinement. And I wonder sometimes if Leonor quietly feels that now. Especially watching other people her age live more normal lives publicly. That contrast matters psychologically. While Prince William and Kate present their children with carefully balanced normalcy in Britain, Spain seems to be accelerating Leonor into leadership mode much faster. And honestly, I understand why strategically. Spain wants stability. The monarchy wants credibility. Leonor's military image, discipline, and seriousness project confidence during uncertain times globally. But here's the hidden cost nobody talks about. The faster someone becomes symbolic publicly, the faster private emotional space disappears. That's dangerous for anyone that young. And I honestly think Sophia's role inside the family has become increasingly important because of this. Sophia still represents emotional oxygen inside the palace. Less pressure, less performance, more spontaneity. That balance may quietly keep Leonor grounded emotionally later. Because future monarchs often become isolated gradually without realizing it. Not because people stop loving them, but because everyone starts relating to the role instead of the person. That transformation already seems to be beginning around Leonor. And honestly, I think her parents see it too. Which may actually create even more tension. Because imagine how painful this must feel for Felipe and Letizia emotionally. On one hand, they want Leonor prepared perfectly. On the other hand, preparation itself may slowly create distance between them and the daughter they're trying to protect. That's tragic when you really think about it. And I suspect that's why some of Leonor's recent appearances feel emotionally heavier now. Not because of scandal, not because of rebellion, but because adulthood inside monarchy comes with a terrifying realization. Eventually, even your relationship with your parents becomes partially institutional. That changes family dynamics forever. Now here's something else I've learned watching royal families over the years. The strongest conflicts are rarely about one event. They're about accumulated emotional pressure. Small sacrifices stacking quietly over time. Missed freedom, constant observation, carefully controlled decisions. And one day, the person carrying all of it suddenly realizes they've spent years becoming who everybody else needed first. That realization changes people internally. I honestly think Leonor may be approaching that emotional stage right now. Not rebellion, awareness. And awareness inside royal systems is powerful because once someone fully understands the machinery around them, they can never completely unsee it again. That's why this story feels bigger than palace gossip to me. Because underneath all the royal symbolism is something deeply human. A daughter trying to become herself while her parents try to prepare her for a destiny bigger than personal freedom. And honestly, I'm not sure there's any painless way for a family to survive that transformation completely unchanged. That's the hidden truth modern monarchy rarely admits. The crown doesn't just shape the future queen. Eventually, it reshapes the entire family around her too.